Papua New Guinea, and welcome to this exciting episode of Sports Scene. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's been a wonderful weekend for me. Then Rose, how about you?
It's been a wonderful week, actually. I got to cover a number of sporting events, especially for Team PNG's preparations towards Samoa 2019. So I've spoken to Adrian Monagi from Athletics and Ibono Paraka, and that story will be coming up later on the show. Now, the Hevea Cup is coming up this weekend. Shane, you've been following the preparations towards leading up to the games and, of course, the messaging of domestic violence and gender-based violence. Tell us about it. What are we expecting this weekend?
Yeah, it's a massive event. Actually, it's a rugby nines tournament, and it will be hosted for 2 days. It's a 2-day competition, and it will be staged over at the National Football Stadium here in the nation's capital. And we're expecting over 24 teams to take part in the competition, 12 men's team and 12 women's competition. And one of the director or the co-founders of the event herself is Tahina Boot. She's a representative of Papua New Guinea as well. She represented the Orchids team playing for the World Cup last year, and now she's spearheading that competition. But the main team or the message behind this competition is about making or creating awareness about gender-based violence in Papua New Guinea, and she's involved quite a lot of well-known athletes, so to speak. Some of them is Debbie Kaure from the rugby union, as well as other prominent athletes will be turning up in that event, the likes of the SP Hunters guys as well. And David Wesley, our national coach, he will also run some coaching workshop during the event. So we caught up with Tahina Boot just earlier this afternoon, and here's what she had to say about the competition itself.
So Hevea Cup is about playing football, having fun, being a good ambassador, being a good role model, and, just coming down and enjoying yourself. This is a family day for all. Gates open at 9 a.m. Kickoff is at 10 a.m. on Friday the 8th and Saturday the 9th. We just want people to enjoy themselves and wear smiles, and we'll have jumping castles and different types of food available. There'll also be, little stalls for people to go buy stuff. So there'll be arts and craft. It is a family day. This is for everybody. Things are coming along perfectly. Kickoff starts on Friday at 10 a.m. So make sure you're there. The gate fee is 2 kina for all. If you want to come in and park, it's 10 kina per car. So we have 408 athletes that are ready to go, 12 men's teams and 12 women's teams. It's going to be 2 days of fast football, lots of food, lots of stalls, and lots of education. It'll be fun for all.
Speaking of it, just about the activities that will happen during the event, just give us a quick rundown on that.
So we have athlete workshops, so that's people that want to come and talk about athlete nutrition and also about the importance of sleep. We'll also have different NGOs speaking about their health promotions. So we've got 23 NGOs that will be exhibiting, and they'll be there to answer all your questions from. It is a wide range of NGOs that are coming, from gender-based violence advocates to sanitation.
Explain a bit about the format of the competition. How will the competition run? Is it a round-robin format, or it will be just played out in just one-hour stretch?
Yeah, so the format is a round-robin, and the halves are 9-minute halves.
Are teams from outside coming in, or just Port Moresby-based teams participating in this event?
So we do have 2 teams coming from the Gulf Province, and we also have had people interested and wanting to play from Madang and also from Kiunga. So there's a wide, range of people from rural communities that want to participate in Hevea Cup. And so what we're wanting to do is actually take Hevea Cup out of Port Moresby and go into rural communities, giving people access. Okay, so the concept behind Hevea Cup is for our youth to access health promotion initiatives. And, by us, putting this event together, we want to make sure that our youth have access directly to these NGOs that specialise in health promotion. So, for example, if you've always had questions about family planning or sexual health, Mari Stopes will be in attendance to actually speak to you directly about that in a private consultation if that's what you need. So the idea is that we break down these barriers, to health promotion, and we use rugby league to do that. So that's what Hevea Cup is about. It's been an absolute incredible journey, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our sponsors, Oil Search Limited. So with Oil Search, we've been able to actually pull this off, and hosting it at NFS is an incredible, beautiful venue. It's run so professionally, this wouldn't have been possible. I do have to also say thanks to MTV for broadcasting and, pumping out to 4 million viewers with their support. That's been just incredible. The Broncos and the Cowboys as well have come on board to help, spread the health messages of Hevea Cup, which is incredibly important. We're looking to partner with more NRL teams and also get more, women playing sport. So, having Debbie Cowray.
Yeah, look, interesting time ahead for rugby league in general, and moving away from Hevea Cup to the Intrust Super Cup. And the 2019 Intrust Super Cup season kicks off this weekend, and our boys, the SP Hunters, will take on the Tweed Head Seagulls at Petroleum Sports Complex. That's in Brisbane, and the game will start at 2 p.m. on Sunday, the 10th of March, and that's this coming weekend. And Coach Michael Marum has named his starting side for the round 1 clash against the Seagulls earlier this afternoon. Check it out. With their first match nearing, Coach Michael Marum reveals his final squad to face the Tweed Head Seagulls in Brisbane this weekend. And as expected, 5 debutants will join in the action in the race to prove their worth and hopefully cement a spot for the rest of the 2019 season. Joe Joshua becomes Hunter number 67, Brendan Nima 68, Garo Kapana 69, Daniel Tapol 70 and Junior Rob 71, all named in the starting lineup. On the extended bench are Nicky Hasu and Joe Frank, who become Hunters 72 and 73 respectively, if they make the final 18-man travelling team.
All in all, these guys have worked hard. It's always difficult trying to name the first one. Everybody wants to be there, and I'm sure they'll all earn a place in the sides, hopefully during the course of the year.
Veteran utility Adex Vera will skipper the side for the first time and will play his 101 Intrust Super Cup game for the SP Hunters.
Adex has been a good service man for the Hunters. He's been around for a while now. He's definitely longer serving, and to play his 101st game Intrust Super Cup is a big feat. He's got guys in front of him like Watts, who's now overseas. So I think they're the 2 journeymen for our team. And to captain it in his 101st, so that's a milestone in itself.
Junior Rao will sit out this game after the QRL judiciary handed out a 1-match suspension for a dangerous throw in the final round 24 game against Queensland Capras last season. Woods Kawege and Shane Harrow were unfortunate to miss out due to injuries sustained in the try-opposed sessions against Central Dabaris and Gulf Iso 2 weeks back.
Woods Kawege has been really strong throughout the back end of the season, right up until probably just last week, just a couple of days ago when we had a session. And some of these sessions, the contact session, so he twisted his ankle, so I'm not able to make his debut, so to speak. And Shane also in a contact session we had, just hit his knee there, so precautions first, so we're just resting our boys up there.
On a positive note, PNG International and Rugby Sevens convert Garo Kapana brings in an exciting twist to the team. Kapana starts on the wing for the Hunters.
PNG Pupus, I scored 2 tries at Oceania Sevens, and last year my debut I made it at Mendy Oval. I made 3 tries, and I'm confident to this year, this weekend game. I need to score to maintain this spot.
Charlie Simon has been given the kicking duties and will be the go-to man for the Hunters. Simon will partner with William Mone in the halves.
Prepare lo very la number na play. No nublo lo miwe. Mi se very na play lo previous game kam lo Intercity kamanda so. Mi no nublo la mi lead lo focus lo taking la lead na. Control la pressure lo game until feel lo 80 minutes. To William Mone I think kemba mo good lo midla can combine running one time. Because midla play one lo lower grade lo. PRL past time PRL installe mi lo play game. Midla sa lo game lo midla lo long past time yet so. I think combination ba mo already live lo midla lo. Calling place na running place.
Coach Michael Marum will finalize the 18-man team before travelling to Brisbane. The game against Tweed Head Seagulls kicks off at 2 p.m. on Sunday, March 10 at the Petroleum Sports Complex in Brisbane, Australia.
2 boss brothers have gone overseas, and we wish them well. With our current halves combination, it's always a work in progress. So we had a post session, and so we're building on that. Look, we're not expecting any miracles to happen in this. It's a progression thing for them, and we're hoping that we can get that gel between William and Charlie. So William's coming in, good on him. He's been around for the last year and a bit, and he's really worked hard, and I think he's deserved the opportunity. And over what we've seen over the last couple of weeks, he's really come out of his shell to show and the leadership that we need around that area. So there's nothing like game time, and game time will really test and see where we are with that.
Yeah, look, congratulations to Michael Marum, a 60-man squad, a trimmed down to 31-man squad, and that is the final side that will take part in this season's Intrust Super Cup Challenge. So we do wish Coach Michael Marum and his team all the best in their preparations leading up towards 2019 season, of course. And Sports In continues after these short messages. Don't go away.
Welcome back. You're watching Sports Scene. Now, former PNG Football Association President David Chung has been fined. Shane, tell us more about that.
Yeah, look, Generals, former Papua New Guinea Football Association President David Chung has been fined with just over 300,000 kina and banned from football for 6 years for financial wrongdoing linked to a 20 million New Zealand building project. And Chung was deputy to President Gianni Infantino as the longest serving of FIFA's 8 vice presidents when he resigned in April during an investigation into the construction of new headquarters for the New Zealand-based Oceania Football Confederation.
According to reports by Zurich AP, World Football Governing Body FIFA said its ethics committee found the 56-year-old guilty of having offered and accepted gifts and conflict of interest. David Chung was fined 100,000 Swiss francs, equivalent to 337,700 kina, which he must pay if he is to return to work in football. Chung resigned as Oceania president after FIFA-appointed audit found wrongdoings linked to awarding of contracts for its headquarters in Auckland, New Zealand. FIFA, which had given $16.8 million equivalent to 56.74 million kina to the OFC in 2017 for his funding to the 11-member regional body. Originally from Malaysia, Chung came to PNG in 1985 and involved in PNG soccer. From the late 90s, he made a steady rise to top office of PNG Football Association after leading Chimbu Soccer and had been PNGFA president since 2004. The Oceania football body is now led by interim president Lambert Maltok of Vanuatu.
Moving on to some football action. Shane, NSL games happened here over the weekend as well. You have some updates for us?
Yes, look, there was exciting times for football, especially in Papua New Guinea, and the semi-professional league continues to impress us every weekend. The competition down here at the Southern Conference is over at the Sejong Gai Stadium, as well as up in the NGI region at the Mutterville Stadium, and up in the Highlands, the NSI, as well as the Northern Conference down at the SIK over in Leh. But one of the top matches last weekend that happened was a match between Hekari United, current table leaders in the Southern Conference, up against the current bottom finishers, and that was of course Star Mountain. And Star Mountain, what a comeback! They managed to hold Hekari United 1-0 in the first stanza of the game, but Hekari, like always, they came out strong in the second half and beat Star Mountain 2-1. But it was a good turnout from the public out here at the Southern Conference, and Hekari looking strong, and I believe they will continue to top the table throughout the season.
Well, I for one think that wasn't the strongest performance, given that the top of the table could actually hold them out for that long in the first half. That wasn't the strongest performance, even though they won the game.
Yeah, look, there was interesting conversation there. But without further ado, let's take a look at what actually unfolded.
Desperate to register a win, Star Mountain started the match on high gear with an opening goal, caught the table leaders by surprise. Star Mountain managed to keep the Reds from scoring and clinging on to the lead at halftime. In the second half, Hekari coach Jerry Allen seemed to have plotted out a comeback plan for his side. The former NSL champions were quick to coordinate in setting up plays in the midfield area and pressing up with their attacking forwards. After 5 wins in 5 matches, Hekari maintained composure and delivered the goods at the back end of the final quarter. The equalizer from Kolukepu turned the tide in their favor as the Reds mount on the attack on Star Mountain's defense. The Tabubil side looked equal to the task at some stage but couldn't hold off Hekari's dominance in the attacking zone. As the clock ticks on towards the final minutes of play, Gibson Dowdell found a tiebreaker that sent the joyous fans into rapture. Nevertheless, Star Mountain came close to causing an upset but couldn't hang on till the final whistle against a more fancied opponent in Hekari United. Hekari still maintained the top spot of the Kumul Petroleum National Soccer League Southern Conference after round 6.
Yeah, look, congratulations to Hekari United there, but we'll take another break now, and up next we bring you all the latest updates on our athletes' preparation towards the big event, and that is, of course, the 2019 Samoa Pacific Games. You don't want to miss that. We'll see you after these short messages.
Welcome back to the show. You're watching Sports Scene. Now to some Team PNG preparations now. That's the road to Samoa. And we have Team PNG Pacific Games coaches and officials attending a training recently, not only as part of the preparations towards the Pacific Games, but also as a training towards enhancing the roles and helping them perform better in the future. Now, facilitator and Team PNG's high performance manager, Chris Amini, speaks more of this in this interview.
At the moment there's around 65 endorsed coaches, as coaches and assistant coaches. We had about 66% of turnout, was about 45 coaches attending. So really good turnout for the 3 days. Out of the 26 coaches that will be played at the Pacific Games, we had around 18 sports turn up. So coaches from athletics, basketball, cricket, lawn bowls, VAR. So coaches that were based outside of Mosby, we flew them in, accommodated them, and for the duration of the course. So it was a good turnout, some really good discussions, good learnings over the 3 days. Part of the project is to try to raise the standard of our local coaches to a higher level than it is at the moment. We have a lot of international coaches that do come in, but we need to build the capacity of our PNG coaches. Coaches have a big influence, number one influence of an athlete's career. And at the moment our athletes keep raising the bar and our coaches are getting left behind. So part of this project, or this program, is to build the capacity of our national coaches so they can be able to produce more elite and quality athletes. There's more to coaching than just the technical side of things and tactical side of things. We started off with building the coach philosophy, so looking deep inside as a coach and even as a person, and finding out why are you coaching, why do you do what you do. So trying to raise those questions and ask these questions to these coaches, so they got to be able to know what they do, what they're doing. So why do they wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning to have a training session?
Still on Team PNG preparations, we talk about table tennis, and they will be sending 10 athletes to the Pacific Games come July, and 6 of the 10 are currently in intensive training in China. PNG Table Tennis Federation will be sending 10 athletes for the Pacific Games in Samoa, although a confirmed side will be announced once the Justification Committee comes forth with a feedback. For now, the trainer squad has a list of 14, including 2 non-traveling reserves for both the men's and the women's teams. Oceania number 1, Geoffery Loi, and older brother David will be among the 10 and are medal hopefuls for Team PNG.
So right now, in the Pacific Games 2015, we were 5th, came 5th in the Pacific Games. So Now we are going to face them again. So we want to go to the next level.
We've been practicing more and training hard for this 2019 Pacific Games in Samoa because of the previous Pacific Games. We're still in the same position. So, like for now, Chinese, our help is coming mostly from Chinese.
Meanwhile, para-athlete Hauda Agari says he is going for gold this time given his silver medal performance in 2015.
Well, my aim this year is to go down to get the gold. Because I lost in the gold playoff in the last Pacific Games. This is now my challenge to go and get the gold.
Brothers Geoffery and David were among the 6 who travelled out early this week for China and will be there for the next 4 months of intensive training. And both are eyeing nothing less than medals at the Pacific Games, and training in China is said to be exactly what they need.
We tried, but we didn't get any medal. We lost in the quarterfinals. So we are going to China to train there, and we want to achieve something good.
PNG Table Tennis Federation President George Chow is thankful for the support they are receiving not only from China but from our national Korea and New Guinea as well.
Thank you. It is a great news for us. I just got approval from the management team to sponsor our six tickets returned from mostly to Hong Kong. And we only put the government tax and surcharges for the deal. And I should pay a very, very special thanks to New Guinea. This is a huge support.
Yeah, look, all the best in the table tennis team's preparation leading up towards the Pacific Games. But moving away from table tennis now and to some athletics. And PNG's #1 discus thrower Debono Paraka and athlete Adrian Monagi are 2 potential medalists for Team PNG at the Pacific Games. And they're both currently in training here in the nation's capital.
Yeah, and we caught up with the 2 2015 Pacific Games silver medalists last Thursday during one of the training sessions. And while Paraka was very clear he will be bringing the challenge to the Games, Adrian, on the other hand, made mention that she will be taking on heptathlon again, despite saying she won't before. With 119 days to go before the Pacific Games in Samoa, 2015 Pacific Games silver medalist Debono made it very clear he will not just be there to make the numbers. The national record holder is now after the Games record.
Okay, in terms of the Games, I'm aiming for the record at the Games for discus. That is my goal, to break the Pacific Games record, so I have to aim high. So the medal, if it comes with me beating the record, then obviously that's a bonus. But for me, is that record. I want the Pacific Games record.
And it's been 4 years since a silver medal performance, and the 29-year-old says he has been preparing well for these Games.
Good competitions under my belt now, so I'm more experienced, a more seasoned athlete. So the knowledge and the preparation for it is there. So I should be at my peak at the Samoa Pacific Games. I'm looking forward to that.
On the other hand, Adrian Monagi has set her sights on the 100 hurdles. Now, being a medal prospect herself, she didn't have to say more as there are already expectations for her.
I'm aiming to do well in the 100 hurdles and hopefully take a spot in the 100 meters. Yeah. But I'm also looking forward to trying out the heptathlon again, even though I said I was going to take a break off heptathlon and then just focus straight in the hurdles and the sprints.
After the 2017 Pacific Mini Games and later the Commonwealth Games, Adrian had a fair bit of rest, although she did make an appearance at the Nationals, but that was mostly to give up-and-coming runners competition. And she is now back into her training regime since last month.
After the Commonwealth Games, I came back and I was Fukuoka for a 2-week course, a workshop that was run by Athletics PNG. And then while I was up there, we anticipated in the training camp. And then that's when I started training again for the Pacific Games. And then came back here to Port Moresby and then I started training. So from 6 to 8, I come down here in the morning, do my sessions, and then head off to work. And then from 12 to 1, I do my gym sessions.
New Caledonia, Samoa, it's usually those Polynesian, well, New Caledonia is Melanesian, but they usually have French-influenced athletes, so the preparation is usually good. And then you obviously have the Samoans, Tongans, and there'll be a few surprises. So as one of the more seasoned throwers going in, they'll be after me. Like before I was hunting them down, but now I'm the hunted, so it's going to be, I'm prepared for that. So I'll show them why I'm one of the best in the Pacific.
In heptathlon would be Tahiti and New Caledonia. In the hurdles, I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure Tahiti and New Caledonia. In the 100 meters, obviously Fiji will be up against.
The Olympics, if I perform well this year, then 2020 Tokyo would be a real option if I, perform where I want to be in terms of my own abilities and goals. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try to qualify in the World Champs, but we'll see how that goes.
It's time now for another break now, and we continue more on sports scene right after the short messages. Don't go away.
And welcome to Post-Match. We're starting this weekend's post-match report from the Northern Conference. The first game between Best PNG United and Makam FC ended in a 3-3 draw. Both teams were inseparable at the final whistle. Morbi United defeated Lahi FC 1-0 at full-time. While over in Madang, home side Laiworin FC came from behind to steal the win from Morbi Wowans by 3-2. Toti City and Tusbab Stallions were locked at 1-0 in the first half, but City came back in the second half and took the lead, eventually winning the match by 2-1. In the Southern, Hikari United defeated Star Mountain 2-1 in a close encounter. Inform Port Moresby United notched up another win over Southern Strikers. FC Bougainville picked up a nifty win against Central United, and Gulf Kumara going down to Eastern Stars by 3 goals. That's the post-match result after round 6 in the Northern and Southern Conference. And on the points ladder in the Southern Conference, the Reds comfortably sitting on the top spot with 6 wins and accumulating 18 points. Port Moresby United are current runners-up with 4 wins and 13 points, while Bougainville, after their sleek win against Central, leap past Central United to 3rd spot. Kumara and Stars both with 2 wins apiece, now sitting at 5th and 6th placing respectively, while Strikers and Star Mountain round up the bottom 8. In the Highlands Conference, Blue Kumul stressed Enga Lima 6-2 in the opening fixture. Kagwe Rave FC also defeated Chimbuangra with the same margin, and Hagen FC edged out Aporo Mai FC 3-2. And that's after round 4. Over the New Guinea Islands Conference, West Tribe FC beat Rodas FC by 3-1, while the match between NBPOL Green Gold and Vudal Gazelle FC did not eventuate but will be played as a washout match in round 5. Chibu Arab sits out a bye. That's the island's results after round 2. Now let's take a look at this weekend's round of matches in the Kumul Petroleum National Soccer League. That's it for Post-Match this week. Sports News Brief is up next. Keep watching. Kangaroos to play Tonga in a triple header at the Oceania Cup Lawns. According to NRL.com, the Kangaroos will play Mate Ma Tonga in a triple-head at Auckland's iconic Eden Park. The inaugural RLIF Oceania Cup runs alongside the first tour with Wayne Bennett coached Great Britain Lions since 2006. The schedule for the RLIF Oceania Cup and first 12 months of a rolling international calendar were announced in Auckland on Tuesday, with New Zealand to host end-of-the-season test featuring Australia, Tonga, Fiji, Samoa and Papua New Guinea as well as the Lions. The Oceania Cup will be played in 2 pools and starts on June 22nd, with the Kiwis taking on Tonga at Mount Smart Stadium and Samoa to meet Papua New Guinea at Campbelltown Stadium. The tournament will be played in 2 pools, with the winner of Pool A, comprising Australia, New Zealand and Tonga, lifting the RLIF Oceania Cup. The winner of Pool B, Samoa, Fiji and Papua New Guinea, lifting RLIF Oceania Shield. An observer from Samoa reports that the Pacific Games Council believes Samoa is on track to deliver very good Pacific Games in July. And quote, Executive Director Andrew Minogue visited Samoa last week as part of the Chef de Mission's meeting with the heads of 13 of the 24 competing countries. Delegations traveling there to inspect the facilities and services that will be in place come July. The knockout stage of the Oceania Champions League 2019 has been drawn as the Oceania's premier international club competition returns in April. The official draw held in New Zealand outlined the road ahead for the remaining 8 teams, including the quarter-final and semi-final matchup as well as the final for this year's competition. PNG champion and Group B runners-up Toti City will face 9 times OFC champions Auckland City in quarter-final 2. Group B winners AS Central Sport from Tahiti will host Group D runners-up AS Magenta from New Caledonia in the first quarter-final, while Fijian giants Bar FC, who qualified as the second team from Group C, will travel to Kone to face Group A winners Haiyan Sport from New Caledonia. The final match will see defending champions Team Wellington, winners of Group C, entertaining Group B runners-up Henderson Hills from the Solomon Islands.
Welcome back. You're watching Sports Scene. Now, Shane, we've had a lot, throughout the show, we've had a lot about men's competition for NSL. Tell us more about the women's competition.
Yeah, look, Dineros, interestingly, this year, the NSL board and the PNGFA president and Benny Popoitai, the chairman of the National Soccer League, or NSL, has made mention that the women's competition will finally kickstart this year, and our women's are the champions of the Pacific, and that's one key point that the chairman has made mention of. But the main thing is to get our women up to speed, and the selection, most of our national squad selection will come from that particular competition, and we must bear in mind that our women are the champions in the Pacific as well as the gold medal winners of the South Pacific Games. So I've spoken to President John Capinato as well as Chairman Benny Popoitai, and here's what they had to say about the women's competition running alongside the men's competition, that is the National Soccer League.
This is the first time that we have kicked NSL off in a professional manner. So we haven't forgotten women. We are going to start perhaps a regional type of competition maybe in a few weeks' time to make sure that women also have a feel of playing in this league. Later on, once we are able to set the structure right, we want to make sure that the women not only maintain their position in the Pacific, but extend to the Oceania. This is the aim and the vision that PNGFA, under the leadership of Mr. John Capinato and his executive, and we in NSL as the premier competition, we would like to make it a realizable strategy. Development of a semi-professional league. Now we extend to the 4 regions, and later we develop a 2-tier competition that we able to become and remove and become the champions of Oceania and compete in the World Cup and compete with the best. We see this is not an impossible dream, it is a possible dream. In our lifetime it can happen, it will happen.
Send it down to the NSL and said that maybe we start in Ley and Moresby only for this year, and then next year we look at how we can conduct the women in the regions. One thing is about security and the duration of time and the land. So we've got to work in different options. How we're going to make women's league come into in parallel with the men's competition. So women are not forgotten, and I think I've stressed it down to the chairman and his board that if we can take the women's league starts maybe next month in parallel only with the northern and southern, I think that will be good. And not to just keep them going because we have a South Pacific game coming up, so we need the women as our Pacific, South Pacific champions. We need to maintain that medal that we have, and the women must play their competition. So we're in line with that.
Yeah, look, it's good to see finally our women will take part in the competition or high-level competition such as the National Soccer League, and we do wish them all the best, and as well as we congratulate John Capinato and his team to actually made an effort to put the women's national competition out there and see how
that's a step forward for the sport.
Such as, the NSL. But anyway, we've run out of time, unfortunately, but before we go, we'll do a quick preview of this weekend's round of sporting events here in the nation's capital, as well as other centers around Papua New Guinea. Starting off with you, Dinrosa, what are we expecting you to cover this coming weekend?
Oh yes, I'll be over in Kimbe, so I'll be bringing you all stories from Kimbe. I'm hoping to bring you guys any updates on the Kimbe Cutters, West Tribe FC, and of course definitely athletics trials. I will make sure I bring you everything there is to know about the athletics trials happening this weekend at the Mutuvul Stadium in Kimbe.
All right, we'll be expecting updates from Kimbe. But meanwhile, here in the nation's capital, tournaments or off-season events, off-season rugby events happening here in the nation's capital, mainly around the suburb areas, and we're expecting the DCL Cup or Intercity Cup to kickstart in April. Currently, at the moment, the teams are in preparation, and that is our semi-professional rugby league competition. And apart from that, we also have the NSL competition happening at the Sir John Guy Stadium. Three matches will be played every weekend, so that's for you football followers out there who would want to witness the game. You can head out to Sir John Guy Stadium and support your local team. Yeah, look, if you're interested in us featuring a regular sport or an event at your local suburb or area, you can find us online or send us an invite via Facebook, or you can drop by at Garden City, second floor, Boroko, and ask for either Dinero or I. We'll be more than happy to assist you out. But from Dinero and I, tonight, it's been wonderful tonight, and we'll see you same time, same place next week. Shane Saroya.
I'm Dinero Strico.
Good night.